Let's travel back millions of years to East Africa, during the Pliocene, a time when the world looked very different from today. Imagine a vast, untamed wilderness stretching as far as the eye can see, bathed in the golden light of a new dawn. The landscape is a patchwork of woodlands, forests, and grassy clearings, teeming with strange, extinct creatures. Herds of ancient animals roam freely, while predators lurk in the shadows, creating a world full of both opportunity and danger. Among them are our earliest known ancestors, the first hominins, small, upright beings who would one day give rise to us. These small, vulnerable beings lacked speed, claws, or strength, yet they survived against the odds. Their secret? Adaptability, the ability to change, to learn, and to make the most of whatever the environment offered. Fossil evidence from Ethiopia's Afar Rift reveals their story, preserved in ancient bones and stones for us to discover millions of years later. These ancient remains whisper clues about their bodies, their world, and their behavior, hints about how they lived, what they ate, and how they faced the challenges of their time. Who were they? How did they move, eat, and avoid danger? What strategies did they use to survive in such a harsh and unpredictable world? Their story isn't one of conquest, but of finding a unique niche, balancing life in the trees with new adventures on the ground, always adapting to whatever challenges came their way. This delicate balance between safety in the trees and opportunity on the ground was the key to their survival and success. Adaptability set the stage for all future chapters of human evolution, allowing our ancestors to thrive as the world around them changed. The journey begins here, with creatures who could exist in two worlds at once, masters of both forest and savanna, always ready to face the unknown. Their flexibility would shape the destiny of our entire lineage, setting humanity on a path of endless possibility and transformation. Meet Ardipithecus ramidus, affectionately known as Ardi, a small female hominin who lived over 4 million years ago in what is now Ethiopia. Ardi stood just under 4 feet tall, making her about the size of a modern preschooler, but her significance in our evolutionary story is immense. Her brain was about the size of a chimpanzee's, reminding us that intelligence and large brains had not yet become the hallmark of our lineage. Instead, Ardi's story is told through her remarkable body. Her skeleton reveals a fascinating tale of adaptation and compromise, blending traits for life both in the trees and on the ground. Ardi's long curved fingers and opposable grasping big toe made her an expert climber, perfectly suited for navigating the dense forest canopy. The forest canopy was not just her home, but also her refuge from predators and her pantry, filled with fruits and leaves. Yet, her pelvis was shorter and broader than a chimpanzee's, a crucial adaptation that hints at the ability to walk upright, even if not as efficiently as modern humans. Her foot, while still adapted for gripping branches, had a more rigid structure, allowing her to push off the ground and take steps on 2 legs. This mosaic anatomy, part climber, part walker, demonstrates that evolution is not a straight line, but a complex process of trial and error. Ardi wasn't simply a missing link. She was a unique creature, perfectly adapted to her world, thriving in a landscape that demanded versatility. She could move confidently through the trees, climbing with ease, and walk upright on 2 legs when she needed to travel across the forest floor or open spaces. This dual ability allowed her to exploit both the safety and resources of the woodlands and the opportunities of the open areas beyond the trees. Her physical flexibility, her ability to adapt to different environments and move in multiple ways, was her greatest asset, giving her an edge in a changing world. This adaptability laid the foundation for everything that followed in human evolution, setting the stage for later hominins to thrive in even more diverse habitats. In many ways, Ardi's body was a bridge between old and new ways of life, connecting our arboreal past with our bipedal future. Her anatomy reveals the very first steps toward becoming human, a journey that would eventually lead to us. To understand Ardipithecus, we must understand her world. East Africa was a mosaic of woodlands, grassy clearings, and rivers, shaped by a cooling, drying climate. Forests were breaking apart, creating a patchy landscape full of challenges and opportunities. For a small hominin, moving between woodland patches was risky, Open ground meant exposure to predators, but these open spaces also offered new foods, roots, tubers, and perhaps scavenged meat. Survival depended on using all parts of this fragmented world. Fossil evidence shows Ardi lived in well-wooded environments, not open savannas. This challenges old ideas that upright walking evolved only in grasslands. The need to travel between scattered trees favored efficient ground movement. Yet, climbing skills remained essential for food and safety. The environment demanded a generalist, a creature at home in both trees and on the ground. This ever-changing world shaped the first hominins' remarkable adaptability. How did Ardipithecus move? With versatility. In the trees, she was an agile climber, moving carefully along branches. On the ground, her anatomy reveals a new way of moving, bipedalism, walking on two legs. Her walk wasn't like ours. Her grasping toe made her a cautious, not speedy walker. Why walk upright? It freed the hands to carry food, infants, or simple tools. Upright walking also conserved energy over moderate distances and offered a better view of the surroundings. It may have helped regulate body temperature under the sun. This shift wasn't about speed, but about survival in a changing world. Bipedalism was a pivotal moment in our history. It opened new possibilities for foraging, carrying, and social life. The first steps on two legs set our lineage apart. What did Ardipithecus eat? Her teeth hold the answer. With small canines and intermediate thickness enamel, Ardi was a dietary generalist. She wasn't specialized for one food. Her teeth handled fruits, leaves, seeds, and tough-skinned fruits. Chemical analysis of her enamel shows a diet centered on woodland foods, fruits, nuts, insects, and young leaves. She wasn't reliant on open grassland plants. Flexibility was key. When fruit was scarce, she could eat fallback foods like fibrous leaves or roots. This adaptability meant survival through seasonal changes and scarcity. Smaller canines also suggest less aggression and more social cooperation. Ardi's diet was a cornerstone of her success. Being a generalist allowed her to thrive in a changing world. In the Pliocene, not being picky was a life-saving trait. When we think of human evolution, we often picture the first stone tools, but Ardipithecus, one of our earliest known ancestors, actually predates the invention of stone tools by over 1 million years. Her world was wild and untamed, long before the age of crafted implements. There's no direct evidence that Ardipithecus made tools in the way later hominins did, but her anatomy, especially her hands, suggests she was capable of using simple, unmodified objects from her environment to help her survive. Much like chimpanzees and bonobos today, she likely used sticks to dig for roots or insects, and stones to crack open hard nuts or seeds, taking advantage of whatever nature provided. She may have even used leaves to soak up water from streams or puddles, turning ordinary foliage into a simple drinking tool. The evolution of bipedalism freed her hands, allowing her to carry and manipulate objects as she moved across the savanna, opening up new possibilities for interaction with her environment. Carrying a useful stick or stone while foraging wasn't just physical, it required planning ahead, a small but significant cognitive leap that set the stage for more complex behaviors. Her toolkit was made up of organic and perishable materials, sticks, vines, stones, and leaves, objects that rarely survive in the fossil record but were essential for daily life. These simple tools expanded her diet, allowing her to access new foods, and also provided basic means of defense against predators or rivals. The very roots of technology began with the first time an ancestor picked up an object and used it to solve a problem, marking the dawn of ingenuity. Ardi's ingenuity may have been subtle, almost invisible to us now, but it laid the essential groundwork for the incredible innovations that would follow in human history. Even without the iconic stone tools, she was a natural problem solver, adapting to her world with creativity and resourcefulness. The story of technology didn't begin with the first flint. It began long before, with ancestors like Ardipithecus, whose simple acts of ingenuity shaped the path of evolution. Fossils reveal more than anatomy, they hint at social lives. Ardipithecus males had small canines, suggesting less male-to-male aggression. This points to a shift toward cooperation and possibly pair bonding. Males may have provided food for females and offspring, improving survival. Living in groups offered protection. More eyes to spot predators, more hands to help. Foraging together was efficient. Sharing information about food and water was vital. Caring for young was likely a group effort. Hominin infants needed extended care. Cooperative care is a cornerstone of human society, and its roots may stretch back to Ardi's time. Social bonds were their shield against danger. The seeds of human cooperation were sown in these ancient woodlands. Group living was essential for survival. Life for Ardipithecus was dangerous. Predators like big cats, giant hyenas, crocodiles, and birds of prey were constant threats. Fossil bones show bite marks, evidence of real peril. Their best defense was awareness, knowing the land, staying alert, and using their senses. Social living amplified vigilance. Alarm calls could send the group fleeing to the trees. Climbing was their ultimate escape. Trees were both pantry and fortress. Bipedalism helped foraging, but climbing skills were life insurance. They likely slept in trees, safe from nocturnal hunters. Beyond predators, disease and injury were threats. Group support could mean survival. Sharing food and protection helped the vulnerable. Flexible diets buffered against starvation and weakness. Survival was about managing risk, not brute strength. Ardipithecus played the game of survival with adaptability and cooperation. Their strategies echo in our own species today. How did early hominins survive? Through a powerful combination of traits. Ardipithecus was a master of compromise, part climber, part walker. Her flexible body and diet let her thrive in a changing world. Social living and cooperation provided safety and support. Small canines hint at reduced aggression and stronger social bonds. Simple tool use and planning foreshadowed future innovation. This unique blend, anatomical, dietary, and social flexibility, was the blueprint for survival. Ardipithecus wasn't a failed experiment, but a success story. In evolution, it's not the strongest who survive, but the most adaptable. Their legacy is the foundation of our own story.